Guys, welcome back to another episode of Unmotivated. Guys, for one, it's just me and Maul tonight. He's the co-host of this particular podcast, so there should be no less than 50 episodes where him and I are just talking about life, friendship, and just everything else.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you guys. Thank you guys that are listening and watching. I could tell you I've been on 3 podcasts and invited to do a few others. And for one, I've saw people quit. And I've been one who had to shift. Realistically, the first time we had to shift is because I had to give the equipment back. And then, in the past 2 weeks, we've got up to 187 downloads, which is a good start. Normally, it take you 50 to 100 episodes to even get to a point where people download 10. So I was like, how can we give them more? What more can we do? We're going to talk a little bit about goals and what that means and things that both Maul and myself are trying to achieve, things that we're learning and, our mindset going into 2020. So, Maul, go ahead and walk them through, man. Where your head's at going into 2024, and what's a goal mean to you?
Hey, man, 2024. It's funny. I think I'm not sure what episode. I got to start taking a note. I got 2 phones. I got to start taking notes in this mug. But a couple episodes prior to this, you mentioned most of the greats, like they're thinking about, even though it's 2024. You really going into 2025. You know what I'm saying? You need to have the whole game plan out going into 2025. You really got to be a couple steps ahead. So right now, what a goal looks like for me is just holding myself more accountable to my execution.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very imperative to the level up stage, and also double down and being real selfish and pouring more into you, because if you can't pour more into you, you can't help the people around you the way you want to.
I mean, help them understand, like, where's an area where you think maybe you lost sight of the goal because you wasn't clear about the goal at times? Because I know sometimes that could, everybody goes into 2020 or like the next year. Even I was talking to Manny today. You don't know Manny, but he's a big advocate for mental health. Mm-hmm. And he's a Mexican guy, cuts our hair, and he goes, Trev, one of the hardest things, he said, here's what happened. He started doing tattoos. He's a barber, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to pull up to the podcast. I used to have Monday open, but now I can't because I do tattoos. I said, when did you start that? He said, I didn't really make a New Year's resolution last year. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy this stuff right now and just start learning. So he started practicing doing friends and family. But I thought about what it means to resolve something. To resolve something means that something was unresolved, and we only lose resolution. And people, I'm a photographer, videographer. I love clarity, and camera too. So when we lose resolution, the integrity of the image diminishes. What that means is it's a shitty picture. And some of you social media people who are big influencers, y'all lose y'all shit. Y'all take 52,000 pictures to get one right. Why? You go, it's not in focus. Oh, this is wrong. That's wrong. So when you're like, I'm creating a resolution. Well, what is it that you're trying to resolve? And what's actually important to resolve? What I love about even what Maul said to me off camera was there's been times where he's put other people first. Mm-hmm. And even when myself included, boy, so many times, you go, there are a lot of things I could do for myself. So if I had to give somebody some help, it wouldn't set me back.
Yeah, facts.
So even when you're saying selfish, though, for one, what's a goal that maybe you didn't see all the way through that you like, man, I should have finished that?
Shit, there's a couple of them, man.
I've been there, bro. Please do.
That's a couple of them, man. One goal, it's not necessarily with me. For the most part, what I was really interested in, like, it wasn't really the goal. It was the version that I was looking at, right? When I said I wanted to jump into real estate, I was following the path of everybody else being a real estate agent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't my path. I'm a connector. I'm a high-level connector. So I'm able to find deals by just using my network. So I didn't have to double down and be a real estate agent. I just had to be positioned enough to be able to know the lingo, to be able to connect the dots, whether it been in commercial or residential. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm only laughing because I like to repurpose things.
Yeah, man.
So when you're saying it, I look at you as an informer. Jamahl ain't gonna go beat your head down and sell you nothing. You call him, he has the information.
Yeah.
So in this case, he's like, if you go get a real estate license, you got to get into this listing, you got to call people, you got to put ads up, you got to sell shit, and he's better at being your friend. The irony is, his friends tend to be high level people. So from an informant standpoint, you might hit a friend might hit him like, yo, Maul, I literally have a plane I want to move. Are you selling a G5? Yeah. You know somebody?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's not me. That's not me blowing hot air. Literally, one of his homies like, "Yo, Nick, I got a plane.
Yeah, anything with an engine on it, we could, find it, or motor. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It could go. We could find it, repurpose or sell it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely right about that. I definitely like how you put that spin on there.
Yeah, and mind you, is sometimes it takes going through whatever you went through to really identify, what is it that I really am good at, right? Like, what is the thing that I need to like double down on? Because if I can get in rooms and I've got 4 or 5 people that are with me and they can tighten that room up, it's like if you hit all 4 corners and everybody was a screwdriver and you was smiling in the middle. That's what a founder and CEO is. Like Jobs literally went to Guy Kawasaki or one of the guys and said, hey, I want to build this iPod. He said, Steve, it's going to cost you $10 million. He wrote him a check. Dude literally says, I went to accounting. They said the check cleared and we built the iPod. Think about that. Guy don't even go check up on you because he's hired you to be a high-level thinker. He's a big thinker and a dreamer per se. He's got this idea to download on this device, and MP3 players already existed. But he called it the iPod, and clearly it changed the world because now we all got iPhones, or at least a portion of us do. So what's another goal you think, or you'd say that you maybe wish you saw through or that you didn't, see through? Or even could have better planned for?
Damn, man, that's it. This motherfucking Trev, boy. Man, when it comes to the goals, man, I'm gonna say it like this, man. It comes down to my body, man.
Yeah.
After I tore my ACL, you know what I mean? I went through a big mental state because at that moment in time, I felt like, my earnings was gonna come from the physical. Everything physical, labor, trying to hoop, all of that kind of shit. I thought that, I was hell-bent on making a living like that. So after I got hurt, they say, your character is really based on
adversity.
Yeah, adversity. And man, there's so many times where I was in my own head, and as it came back down to the environment, I let a lot of tangibles get in the way of, my end goal.
And what's a tangible? Walk them through that if you don't mind.
I mean, shit like just obstacles that got in there, man. Just little scenarios that popped up and caused me to keep deterring from my end goal where I was trying to go. So I say, you could be a lucid dreamer, you know what I'm saying? But eventually you got to come down with a grasp. You got to pull that fucking harness down and then start digging, start applying pressure to your goals and the foundation that you're trying to build. So, it didn't really start clicking until I had to go through adversity and then, really start just putting myself out there. I never really used to do that a lot.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard, bro. Yeah. I mean, I've been there,
because it's levels to what you put out there. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if so here's the challenge. I don't know if it's levels to what you put out there, but more so levels to how you can manage the response that people might give. Because like you put something out there and nobody says nothing and you already in your head, you go, damn, that sucked.
Yeah.
Now, if you put it out there and somebody tells you it sucks, you go, damn, that really sucks.
Yeah, it was out of pocket. Yeah, it was no good.
So think about how many levels of you really, when you put something out there, you're looking for a reaction. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. You post something, you're looking for a reaction, or potentially, in my case, just to help people. The irony is that depending on how you respond to the bullshit, depends on what else you're willing to put out there.
Yeah.
As I told people, and I'm not even an 8 Mile fan, but when Eminem cuts himself to pieces and takes away every nail, knife, bullet you could put in him,
there's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do.
It's like you're literally left wordless.
It's like you about to be Pootie Tang. You about to repeat what I just told you,
and therefore you become useless.
Exactly.
You can't even you can't even battle me no more because I just beat myself. Yeah. And the only goal in life, 50 and some of the greats, is to how do I defeat myself every day, or how do I chase my hero? And if I'm my hero, that hero has to keep growing. And I don't think I'm ever going really catch my hero. And Matthew McConaughey getting the Global Globe or Oscar, I believe, probably did the best. I've always chased my hero, and he's 10 years away from me.
Yeah.
And never being able to catch him, so he keeps pushing himself, right? Yeah. So in this case, what I love about goals is sometimes they're attainable, sometimes they need a little redirection.
Damn, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you
off.
You
good, bro. This is the point of this.
Matthew McConaughey, dog.
Tough. You know what you like about him though? What? Is because he feels sincere.
Yeah.
There's a sincerity.
He's mastered that, but I feel like that's him.
That's the point.
That's him. You know what I'm saying?
So fast forward.
Yeah.
I tell Ma, I said, A-Rod's in the gym today, literally. Aaron Rodriguez, he's on Shark Tank. You know I'm a Shark Tank fanatic, those that do know me. And nothing in my bones. I was in Vegas one time and Ronnie Coleman was sitting behind me and just hearing his voice, I said, oh shit. And I was like, yo, man, I'm sorry to bother you. But it is how people be messaging me, yo, I'm sorry to bother you, but I got about 5 questions on these dogs, nigga. I know you don't like answering them, but real quick. But point is, I was like, yo, Ronnie. He said, no, you good, you good. He got up and took a picture of me while eating food. And
that's the homie that was like big ass weights.
Nigga, lightweight baby. So when we're looking at even like what a real goal is, I couldn't find it. I go through a couple docs. I said, what would I need A-Rod for? It would serve more people if they saw me with him or if I posted something with him than it would me. And nothing comes before me outside of, in this case, God in a sense. So think about that. I'm like, I can't go say anything because I don't give a shit about baseball, which is the truth. I'm hot, low key, that people are so fascinated by him, which means I got more work to do. And we're building something just as amazing. I do respect the work he's put in, the story he's told, the reason why he puts himself so hard, and even him starting his investment firm. But there's nothing in my and mind you, people, I have no fear when it comes to running up on somebody. But I just couldn't do it because I'm like, I don't need it. I don't want his money. I want to be a partner. I feel like he's a cheap salesman at times. Like he's overselling at times versus Cuban, to me personally, and McConaughey, they feel authentic. Mm-hmm. And I don't know A-Rod, bro. I could tell you honestly. He walked past. I told you, Marcus, look up. I think that's motherfucking A-Rod, nigga. Cool to see. Got to be honest. Cool to see. But you go in my head, I'm like, I don't give a shit about this motherfucker. And you know where that started? I was at my buddy Peanut's house one time and his dad. We argued about some athlete. He said, when they going to be talking about you? And I never watched another game. So if you know me, I don't watch sports. I have no clue what's going on. I don't watch no hockey, no basketball. I might one day buy tickets so the team and people can go enjoy them. But when he said that, Aaron, Peanut, it didn't do nothing to him. It harassed my brain. Because when he said, when they going to be talking about you, I go, fuck. And we was kids. I said, I ain't never watching no more sports again.
I put shit in a different kind of perspective for you, right, huh?
For me, it's over.
Yeah.
That's it. I have no, because at the end of the day, we watching them getting their money.
Yeah. I respect he getting his money though.
I do. That's his thing.
I thought that's A-Rod.
No, it was. He was clean. Look, I'm telling you, motherfucker look clean as shit.
I definitely get what you're saying though, man. It's like, yo, we gonna take a picture and it's just gonna be another picture in the archive, or it's gonna be like, yo, this picture meant something because we connected after it. You know what I mean? So you put me in the room of niggas on Shark Tank.
It's over.
I mean? Yeah, fuck the picture. You know what I mean? I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to, what's that say? That elbow grease. I'm trying to make that joint work.
But now fast forward, Maul was also with me at the ABKC Nationals, right?
Yeah, you had a lot of dope dudes over there, man.
And I became the A-Rod in a sense.
Facts.
They're like, oh shit, that's fit. And I heard them at times whispering. I'm walking past, mind you, I'm there to do a job.
Not walking no dog.
No, bring one dog. They're like, oh shit, that's Fit Bully TV.
Not stacking one dog.
And you go, so if we're in one room and that's happening, I'm like, all I said out loud is like, I got to do more. Mm-hmm. I got to do more. So back to the goals though, because our goal is why we're doing this podcast as well. Damn. What? Go ahead.
It's almost like I seen a post the other day when dude was like, it was a meme. It was kind of funny though, but he pretty much was saying that it was little baby's birthday, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, his best friend was in the section with little baby and telling him, yo, you keep going harder, keep grinding, you know, just pretty much giving him all his praise, you know what I mean? And the dude was like, yo, nigga ain't never shown that much love for my birthday. And, you know, I've been with Brody since like the thick of the thin, you know what I mean? But it's just how people idolize other people, you know what I'm saying, instead of like double down and trying to figure out how you can get to your riches, whether it be riches or...
And LeBron and Rich Paul are prime examples of what it means to have a friendship that works and to set a friend up to do some work so the friend and you could keep working together.
That was a perfect alley-oop LeBron did for Rich Paul. And then he took it and he leveled up. And shout out to Rich Paul and Adele, you know what I'm saying? That's some beautiful work right there.
What? People, let me tell you this. I don't know. I've been to Cleveland for once, and I don't think LeBron's not from Cleveland. He was like Akron or something. Mm-hmm. I think it's an Akron kid. But let me tell you this. At one point, Forbes ranked Cleveland the most depressed state in the U.S. And when you get up there, it's really sad. I got to be honest. It was depressed. Too cold, too much feet of snow. It was just depressing. And so when you see these people come out of Akron and various places where I was walking to the library one time. This is a true story in Cleveland, Ohio. And some girls like, where are you from? I said, Kansas City. Like, where that's at? I said, oh, Lord. I said, hey, y'all have a good day.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good day because now, mind you, I'm not a geographer. So I can't tell you where half the shit is on the map, but I know where quite a few states are. It's 50 of them boogers, I think. Maybe. Yeah. That being said, but when we look at goals, Ma, and even when you start talking about selfish, what does it mean to be selfish then?
You got a couple versions of selfish, I think. You know what I mean? People could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always down to have a good debate, good conversation, some enlightenment, so I ain't tripping on that. But there's like the stab in your back. It's a stab in your back, grimy, you know what I'm saying? I'll whoop your head, boy, 50 kind of grimy, you know what I'm saying? Selfish, where it's like, yo, by any means. It's like a couple different definitions to by any means. It's like, yo, I'm gonna fucking steal from you, your family, your kids, whatever I gotta do to get that gold chain, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that whatever is motivating at that time.
Yeah.
And then there's selfish, just like, yo, knowing when to say no, knowing that you gotta pour on yourself, knowing that you gotta like.
So then tell them why do you think so many people get tight when you do say no? Because I always say no a lot of times. Like, look, it took years for me to start saying, let me be more open-minded.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was on the end of that, too. It's like when you going through shit, you trying to figure shit out, and shit's happening so fast, you can't fucking, damn, hold on, life. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit hitting you. It's like, man, it just puts you in a situation where you don't want to hear no. Saying the opposite of no is like a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. As that's helping you, giving you some hope, you know what I mean, to start bringing you back in the path or the walk that you want to go down.
So what's the time somebody told you no and you was tight?
A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out this entrepreneurial shit, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure out the athlete shit. I've been told so many times.
And guys, I just learned this the other day how focused Jamahl was at playing sports.
Yeah.
But mind you, you also kind of, I've been around for a couple months now, literally that's it.
Yeah.
And you also talked to just a little bit about how important sports were because it seemed like a ticket, right?
Yeah, it's always a ticket. It just depends on how you get introduced to things, how you get introduced to life. You put a lot of emphasis and a lot of oomph on, you got to make it over that hill. And whatever you focused on is what you're trying to figure out, that's why I say having some diversity and having a lot of things exposed to you young. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I feel like that shit is the key because, growing up in the inner city, it's like, yo, what we embody, we embody the lifestyle, the fast hustle.
But think about that, bro. Even when you said it, it just hit me. When you think about the inner city, it's one of the biggest boxes on earth.
It is.
It ties you into this idea that there's nothing outside of the city,
But you look at the teacher, you look at what I'm saying? It's crazy because you don't look at the teacher or the person saying like, yo, I'm about to go to school for dentistry or I'm about to go to school for medical. It's like, nigga, you talking a foreign language. Nigga, you trying to hoop, trying to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get caught up in the glitz and glamour and what that feeds you. You know what I mean? And everybody gets their little versions of it. And shout out to the people that can snap out of it faster than others, man. But like when you growing up in the inner city, like a lot of that stuff is what you get exposed by. Like it's the whole attitude that you embody is like, I'm the man, I gotta be the man, and how could I be the man? It's by doing, by being the best at this or being in the ranks of this conversation.
Let me tell you this, people, whatever you do,
in the ranks of like being educated or highly educated or a well diverse portfolio or just knowing business or knowing that, you know what I mean? It happens, bro.
The worst thing that people could do though, especially if Jamahl didn't open up his mind, become the best losers on earth.
Man, becoming the biggest loser, the best loser turned me into the best winner. You know what I mean? Because I'm Teflon tough. You know what I'm saying? Because it showed me that I could figure some shit out. A lot of niggas can't figure a lot of shit out, and shout out to what's the dude from Swisher House? Yo, Nico is fucking Chameleonaire from Swisher House. Is he? Is he? Or he fuck with some thug in them niggas, right? Yo, nigga like him, bro. I fuck with his name, bro, because he went from rap, and then had one of the most diverse portfolios in the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Got into tech. Yo, I embodied that. I could. My talent is I could switch lanes. You know what I mean? That's one of my super talents. You know, my superpowers is like, yo.
Well, in the bigger picture, I mean, when I hear that, it sounds like you could remove your pride.
I can move it.
You can remove your ego. You could
in
say,
the right environment, I can move it because all of that stuff takes a certain level of people that, let's be clear, that are all better than you. But when you there, you know what I mean, then you can start to see the lesson that you need to learn from each group of individuals that you run.
That also shows that you're a true competitor. We might do an episode on true competition. True competition isn't me being around a bunch of fucking idiots. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's the simplest thing I'll ever do. But when you look at in Gladiators, Marcus Aurelius, and he says his full name, son to such and such, my wife was killed, to the true king. You think about what that man expressed in a moment of pain, pride, and power. And the power was, you tried to kill me and I survived.
Yeah.
Because not only did I have the switch, I went from being the top general to a fucking peasant.
The top G, yeah.
And still to this day, I still have a pride that I carry with me that I'm going to die with respect. My self-respect, to say the least. So even when I hear you talk about, as we discussed, your personal goals, I've been there. I've given people too much. And I lost myself in the sauce that I wasn't even cooking. So I didn't even know how to add, because 9 out of 10 times people aren't always super truthful about what they need or all that is going on if they really need your help, right?
Man, yeah, this year is just focused on the people that's pointing at me like, y'all, you, fucking Jamarcus, helping me with my websites, helping me just get my shit out there. Don't know, stand from a hole in the wall through y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just linked up. He just brought a super dope dude over here.
Yeah.
I got my bro right here that's super talented with music and production.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Going back to New York, lock in for a couple months and come back out here. Like, I gotta focus on the people that focus on me. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a huge thing though. Because
that's why.
So then get into this then too, because now you think niggas think people are part of their team and they never was even on, they wasn't even on the fucking bench for you, my man. So you like, when you start talking about team members, I put in perspective what Jamahl just said. You know, I walked in here 4 months ago and all I've done, you know, from like, yo, money, we about to go down here and talk about credit, press play. You know, they told me about their business, boom, let's go. I'm going to promote and post this shit. Got a few clients off me. Jamahl, to be candid, has talked about friends he has who won't post their own problems. I have no problem posting a problem, because guess what? Jamal's a part of the solution. Offer credit is a part of the solution. And my man has a real viable business. And even more importantly, he ain't trying to shake nobody down. So when we start talking about team players, he talking about Jamarcus. Jamarcus, guess what? He'll get on one of these episodes too. Built Stan a site. We met a dude at Beast of the East. Beast of the East dude reaches out. He says, yo, I like Stan's new site. Could you build me one? What Jamarcus is doing right now is compounding skills. Guess who forced him to get all these skills? Me. That's the truth. When you come in here and you say, Mom, I want you to meet this person, and vice versa. Mom's like, yo, you got to meet this person, meet this. And nobody's taken from nobody. There are people who live in pride and they're going to need somebody to pat me on the back. I don't even like people touching me. So if Maul asks me, hey, can you come out the room, shake a few hands, talk to a few people? Absolutely. Why? Because that's really being a team player. And you know the best part about the team? It supports everyone's growth. So I ain't asking for nothing. And there have been people who've tried to give me money who've walked in this home. I'm like, you need to talk to Maul and Cat, bro. I'm good. You know, and to be clear, if I'm going to work with somebody or take somebody's money, I've already talked to Maul, 4 months ago? Like, yo, I'm about to build this. How can we invest together? All I've learned over the past 4 months is that I really would like him to be a part of a team. And I'll be very candid in saying this. I don't like niggas at all. And I don't want no niggas in my business. But the irony is, there's a sickness, I think, because I've also wanted niggas to be great. And the frightening part is I've lended opportunities to my people and said, yo, bro, if you and I don't even need much. You know, I don't even need nothing if I'm being honest, because we do the work. Say, yo, if you do this, I'll give you a %. You just be good. Like one day, like Apple and Google, you'll wake up. It might have $100 million in your bank account because you made the right investment.
What's your homeboy's name that was over here and did an episode that's doing the body scrubs and
Oh, my boy Ronnie.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
Man, you know, I like his attitude. I like how he moves, you know, how his mannerisms and shit, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. I was going somewhere with it, and then
He probably just go say something along the lines of Ronnie and him.
Oh no, yeah, he's like you in a sense. He don't
Yeah.
really go out his way
No.
to to fuck with the ops. And when I say ops in this situation, because niggas love that word, I say the bad energy, bro, the energy vampires, bro. You know what I'm saying? He just his only purpose is to feed him and do
His
what
daughter.
he got to do for his daughter right now.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So
And Ronnie's always been a good dude. I've never been over Ronnie's apartment back in the day when there was 5 niggas, let alone 2 niggas. There's maybe 1 nigga and no niggas. And we got along because he come from Louisiana.
yeah,
And he really do like good people. His challenge at times is he didn't know how to sustain them or like cultivate a relationship beyond that, whatever was going on. And I'm not going to speak for Ronnie, but I will speak for my experience. Super good dude. He was super persistent. If you heard that episode about getting in my life, and mind you, I was doing everything I can to get this nigga out of my face.
that's what you got to do sometimes, Joe. Like the movie, like
you, my
the
man.
intern and shit. You gotta figure out ways to get in the circle. You gotta figure out ways to infiltrate the circle, bro, in a good way though, because you trying to soak up that game, that juice.
And that's also what I love about you too, man, because you think about it.
Look, I'm looking at the camera. I don't give a damn. If it's where I need to be, what Tree said, I'm gonna be where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be right where I need to be when I need to be there.
And people, what that means is Maul and Cat both have attested to not wanting another dog. The buying Lola was I need access to this nigga. I need a way in, and this might be the best way in, because right now I actually believe, like, 9 out of 10 niggas don't mean what they say. People, I mean what I say. And it's very difficult because even when Maul's talking about having a plan, that's all I do is write plans. Hell, I wrote a plan up for them.
Yo, this year you talking about plans?
Yeah.
Offer credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to at least 5,000 subs. You know what I mean?
That'd be huge.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get there. The difference is that we really aim to help. So when you talk about goals, it's just really sitting down, writing that shit out. Like Miss Erica Badu said, you got to write that shit down on paper. You know what I mean? And be meaningful and have a certain kind of assertiveness on and how you trying to help make a difference.
Yeah.
So I know I got to come up my shell, and some things are going to require show and prove. But we got receipts. I got receipts for everything.
I don't even think it takes that, man. I think if people connect to your sincerity, which is what I have.
People don't like to connect to that. For matter of fact,
no, they do.
They do.
Bro,
They do.
My quote is, as Martin Luther King said, "I've decided to stick with love because hate is too great of a burden to bear."
Yeah.
That's a quote that he said, and I'm telling you right now, I could respond to the hatred I get every day. I'm like, but that ain't a part of my plan.
Yeah.
The plan isn't to feed the monster. It's to feed the people who are they're trying, like, yo, I want to do what's best for my dog. Thank you so much. I had the questions. The dog industry, they've been killing the dogs with dog food. I can't thank you enough for saying something.
Man, the game just gets so fucked up when you trying to reach these goals and you setting these high standards, dog. These people think like, oh man, if I'm buying something from him, he's gonna be in the Lambo. Nah, motherfucker, I'm not in the Lambo for one payment you gave me. I'm in the Lambo because of a business that I built. You know what I mean? If that's gonna be what it's gonna be. So yeah, man, it's just the goals. Stay consistent, man. Stay steadfast. Stay down. Stay 10 toes down on that, and just imagine yourself where you want to be, man. Like The Secret, the book, The Secret, and the show, The Secret. Man, go on that, turn the lights off, turn everything off. You see, I be playing jazz in this motherfucker.
Jazz,
some,
nigga.
Some calm
it's like being
music.
an old school,
You know what I mean?
Kansas City Bannister Mall.
Do what you got to do to stay in your zone,
Like a
man.
Sears commercial in this bitch.
Hey, man, elevator music all day in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Then I turn it up here and there and then go back to that because I just need different tempos. I need different vibes.
Look, but you know what? Go ahead and pause that. Look, people, so we're doing 10-minute segments. We're going to call them hot segments. Jamahl and I practicing this thing tonight. But I told him, I said, for one, Jamahl has a voice. And the reason all of us have a voice is because we have experiences. He knows how to parlay, convey, and communicate those experiences. So even when we're talking about having a change of pace, there was an African woman, and I was trying to tell her, let me be very clear, I tried to tell her to use a Beyonce song. She paid me a lot of money, about $5,000 to do a video for her. Be very clear, she said no. And I'm like, yo, this is a hot song. She says, I don't care. I was like, well, I mean, shit, you paid me, so what music do you want? She's like classical music. I said, so yo, well, how did you get on classical music? I'm curious. Like, why did you get there? How did we get here? She said, your African American music. She's from Africa, to be clear, married to a white guy. Your African American music spews hate, anger, rage, jealousy, envy, and greed. She said that it's unhealthy. But I never thought of it that way. So she is obsessed with classical music. And I remember listening to one of the full songs after using it for a video. And I go, man, I don't know if this is peaceful, but guess what? There was no jealousy, envy, and hate and greed in there. And you think, wow.
Think about all the top songs out right now. And look, no disrespect to the artists, because my phone is full of bullshit.
Me too.
But it's like, yo, certain music get you there. I'm outside of the club. I'm looking crunk. You know, it just puts you in the zone, man. But that classical music, bro, you throw on some classical. This is why I want to get money. I need money for the finer things in life, dog. You know what I mean? I need the classical music. I need, you know what I mean? I need to be exposed to stuff that's gonna keep making my brain just go boom. I'm reading a book with the fireplace. It ain't the stunt. It's it's for my personal.
Let me
it's
tell
for
you
my
this.
personal.
My grandmother cleaned houses, and unlike a prenup, Mr. Callahan wrote in his contract when he married his wife Sue. He said, "Listen, that my light goes out at 8:00." He said, and Sue loved to read. If you need to stay up reading, you need to go to another room. He wanted in a contract, and guess what he was? He was a contract lawyer. So he specialized in being clear. And when I tell you Mr. Callahan was an asshole, for one, my grandma's like, I've never seen him stop and talk to people. But sometimes he would be asking me questions and walking at the same time. But he'd come home every day like clockwork in Prairie Village, Kansas, and run 2 miles, hit his weights, and go back to work.
Crazy.
That man was a fucking machine. They go to Colorado for the wintertime. My grandmother's cleaned houses for over 30 years. I spent the summers with her, but I'm never going to forget Miss Callahan. She said he's the first person who set up a IRA for my grandmother because she cleaned houses. There's no insurance policy, none of that stuff.
Oh, he set it up like that?
Oh no, he's a dude who was like, hey Margaret, I want to make sure you're good. Do you know what IRA is? And she's like, no. Okay, good. Some of the money I would pay, I'm going to pay your rent, but I'm going to double it and put it in this Roth for you. I didn't know what that was, but now fast forward, you go, this was actually a good dude who really appreciated Margaret Cochran at the time and wanted to set her up for success. And mind you, people don't have to do that, man. Some people 9 out of 10 times accounting, you'll be a fucking stupid and betting on it because sometimes a job is just a job. So even when Jamal's telling me, hey, I really want to double down this year and focus on myself and focus on the people. Sometimes we focus on everything that don't matter and have the right people within our corners.
Let's be clear, man. All right. Let's be clear. This year, closing out the year, I don't know how many more days are left until the New Year's over.
It's the 27th.
27?
Yeah, it's the 27th. So we got 5 days left. 4 or 5 days, 31st.
4 or 5 days, right? My team and I were able to get a client. Oh, shit.
Go ahead. Look.
Because I don't. So Trev get on me about posting, man, and it's like, whatever, bro. But my team. This is why I'm looking at it like this, right? My team and I were able to get a client, $1 million on a line of credit, right? Then we got 6 more clients that we got 3 clients, $250. Out of those 3 clients, they got another $150 and like an $80,000 line of credit. Yo, we just pumping out so much money. It's a couple SBA loans we help some people get. Yeah. And it's like you just looking at those numbers and it's like people get caught up on the percentage, because we get paid for that.
Absolutely.
But it's like, I don't, you look through Instagram and be like, $10 million in funding, man. Fuck all of that, bro. It's like, now it's like, we got something tangible. I'm a part of some dope stuff. Yeah. And it's like, now it's time for us to get that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it, bro. It's just like, all of this money going out, what's the purpose of being connected to? I understand patience is a virtue. You gotta wait, you gotta water your grass.
But I think this is the year where your patience is gonna meet you where you are.
That shit is like, cause it's like I'm trying to convince people, like, the money you spending Don't get it twisted. I spend money on my Boost products too. What you go through, it's no crazy discount what I gotta pay. I still gotta pay to play. People don't understand that. It's like, yo, bro, I want you to fix my credit, or I want you to do this right now, but I'm trying to get $60,000 in fucking 2 months. Yo, I empathize with a lot of situations, so I'm always gonna be hella like, yeah.
And the empathy comes from him at one moment in time, maybe being ignorant about what was really going on. So that's the empathy isn't that that you deserve $60,000, so we're clear. The empathy comes from, damn, he don't know what he got to do to get that.
Yeah, you got to do a lot. So it's like sometimes you got to invest, and people
every time, bro.
Like with old girl, Ab's homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she was talking, like you got to understand, and shout outs to her. A very bright woman. You know what I'm saying? She's doing
young
her thing.
too, bro. Young too.
But
and I'm only using age because you go, damn, she's thinking from a.
You around all of these successors, right? Around all of these different multitudes of money and stuff. And it's like, yo, when someone says sometimes you got to pay to play $10,000 to build you up the correct way and have receipts to what they doing. And I'm not talking about a nigga that just hang out with fucking celebrities and it's like, yo, bro, yeah, you pay me this, I got you. Like, for what you trying to do, yo, sometimes you have to pay that toll tag to get to that side. You could go on a toll tag, which is going to get you there in 30 minutes, and you could go on a fucking regular highway. You know what I'm saying?
It's 2 hours, nigga.
2 hours, bro. You
Easy,
know what I'm
35 and 75 in Texas will change your whole day.
So
nigga.
I'm never going to knock the products. You just have to do your due diligence on what you're paying for, because these things do exist, but you got to have a budget. And if you don't have a budget, my biggest thing, I've been coming across the people that they want 100,000. Yo, how could I get 100,000, bro? I could tell you how to get 100,000, but it's a process. If we got to do it the generic way, this is what it's going to take. But if you're trying to expedite the process, guess what? I got to take you from the traditional way, which is better in some cases, but now we got to do the expedited way, and that shit going to cost money, because now we have to work faster. We have to literally work for you. Like, we're your assistant, and we have to put in more work, more pain to these creditors and whatever we fucking trying to do to get you to the finish line. People got to understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man, so I broke it down like this just to be clear. I told somebody, I said, yeah, you spent 5 years getting overweight, and you want me to change you in a year. Let me be very clear and say, if you never have financial literacy, me fixing your credit just means it's going to go back to shit unless I walk you through the power of budgeting, making sure you understand what a plan, why you need a plan, and then even more importantly, execution. So for myself, I'll put in perspective. One day I challenged myself. I say, hey, can I do 10 miles a day? I hadn't even really been working out. 10 miles, done. Then we turn around. I said, 3 months. Can I get back to 405? Guess what? There's video proof. I did 405. I said, okay, that wasn't that hard. I mean, it's heavy weight, to be clear. It's some heavy ass weight. But even if you heard Stan say, like, yo, I watched this nigga, I couldn't do 205 truck. He doing 8 plates basically total. My point is, I put a plan together in my head about preparing myself for the moments that are coming. So what does that mean? Going into 2024, I dial it in and get back to having the abs and all that stupid shit that don't mean nothing to me, because it means more to people to see me like that. And I'm not saying I'm doing it for people, but it looks like $100 million man when I like take on the burden. But my little slow things is, even when I told Maul, Cat goes, Maul, I've never gotten to do meal prep. And so guess what? So let's see what happens for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Cat and I, we split the difference in terms of cooking. And mind you, the house even had a better flow to it, right? Because there's proper food prepared. Both of them lost weight. Kat talked about her never being able to lose weight. She said, I've never lost weight. Jamahl lost weight. So what I'm doing, what they don't know is I create processes for myself, because part of my plan is preparing myself for the commitments I have to make long term. Yeah. Because if I do, Biggest Loser, prime example, I go lose 25 pounds, it don't mean nothing to me. What's the process to getting there? 20 pound niggas be losing 180 pounds, be back 405. As soon as they get back to real life. Yeah, it's easy when you don't got nothing to do but lose weight and be on TV. But when you got a wife, kids, family, a job, you go, the traffic, you go, fuck, I ain't doing shit when I get home and go in the fucking bed. And I'm going to eat that bullshit about 10, 11, 12 at night. So in this case, I know how my brain functions and the power of the brain and its function. What that means is, I repeat, I've created challenges. Well, if I did 10 miles, I could do 2 miles a day. Yeah. That's the truth. If I could do 2 weeks of meal prep, and we did it for longer, to be clear, and everyone saw changes. When the time comes going to 24, I said, guys, let's see what happens if we do 90 days. What do you think happened when we all get dialed in? And mind you, Mom wants to get his knee like surgery. So the hardest part about potentially being down for 3 or 4 weeks is the food. So it'll be twice as hard being motivated to come back if he's overweight. I'm big about the future. When I think about it intrusively. What do we have to do in terms of mentality so he can always reference back and say, or double back, as some people say, and say, okay, I did that. I could do this. I could do this. And it wasn't easy, to be clear. Thanks. All of us live well enough in a way where we go out to eat every night and be fine. That's the truth. But it's not conducive long-term to our goals. And if we really consider the fact that we could potentially all be worth $100 million one day, we go, what does that require? It requires a level of discipline, like him talking about being selfish right now, that 9 out of 10 people never have, because you're too concerned with status quo, what people think of you, and how they may view you. I've never thought that way potentially, and I'll be honest in saying the only person I was concerned was my father. And once he was gone, and he's not dead, but once he was no longer a factor in how I viewed myself, it's impossible for anybody else to get that type of power, because there's too much power worrying about what fucking people think. The people around me know that don't work on me. It's like the only person that ever mattered, if he called my phone, was Clarence Cochran. That's the truth. He say something, it'll fuck with me, because he's gonna say something like I say something to people, because oh, you couldn't do better. You go, what? What you mean, nigga? He's on my heels in a way that I would be on somebody's heels, because he not gonna talk shit to you. He's just gonna like, oh, so you didn't think about this? I'd be like, oh fuck. And in my mind, I thought through everything. Nope. Boy, I'd be at about 505. Because now, mind you, my dad got out of prison. I seen him do it. I seen him do 405 on military press. That fucking old school bench thing where you're sitting up straight. I've seen him pull 405 off the military and put it.
Never.
But point is when we're looking at goals, and I'm listening to Jamahl, and he went on a walk with me. I said, hey, bro, you got to walk. Go and hit the treadmill, man. I like getting my little sun every now and then and pace myself and get my mind right, because I told him I hate the gym with a passion.
Melanin popping, you hurt?
Yeah.
Get that,
So, he goes on a walk with me, and we just talking. He's walking me through life and his goals and things he wants to achieve in 2024. It means a lot to me to hear that, because I know this dude cares too much about fucking people. And I mean really like helping people help themselves. But as he said, he has the power to have the same access to funding that these people have, and even more importantly, be it myself and other people he's associated with, he also has the people to invest in. And in my opinion, there's nothing better you could do in your life than make an investment. That's why there's 14 seasons of Shark Tank, people. And for those that don't know, there's a show called Dragon's Den that's been around longer than that. 30 plus seasons of Dragon's Den. All rich people do is invest in shit. That's it. They don't do nothing else. They build some shit, make some money, invest in everything they can, and they will tell you not everything's going to work. But guess what? They got enough money to lose. Yeah. Because if 1 out of 10 works, they made all their money back. So, Ma, what's your biggest goal going into 2024?
Oh, man, my biggest goal, man, I can't let y'all know too
that's
much.
Good. That's good.
As far as what exactly I'm diving down, but on the surface level, my biggest goal is making sure I hold myself accountable.
And that's a goal in itself, though, bro.
Yeah, my biggest goal is making sure I hold myself accountable to be able to see it through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm relentless on that path of staying consistent and present in what I'm trying to do to get myself there. You'll find out, obviously you'll see what's going on through the later episodes, but
yeah,
my biggest goal, I'm gonna just leave it at I'm turning myself and I'm turning my people. We're turning ourselves into a booming operation. You know what I'm saying? And for that to happen, we got to be very, very, very embedded in the mission upon us, right?
Yeah.
So, your weaknesses. That's when you know your team. Trevor damn near he's like a fucking 100 scale if we were playing with creative players.
Okay.
So right now you don't got to be the master at everything. You just got to be a master of your lane, and that's what my biggest goal is this year. I'm a master of my lane. I'm gonna push my connections, my resource to the limit, and I'm gonna stay consistent and in their face. I'm gonna keep hitting these niggas in their face. They gonna come up off that pill. They gonna come up off that bread, man, because we got shit to build, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you got. Can I say it? Can I say
You
the
say
word?
whatever.
Is it Pangea?
Yeah.
We got Pangea about to hit you over the head. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know, I'm gonna insert myself in the big boy park this year. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's a big part. People, mind you, I don't let a lot of people in.
I'm taking
but
my people with me.
What I can't say is man, you know, I don't like a lot of people. I gotta say that. You've heard me say it. If you listen to anything I've ever posted, I've literally did a live saying, "Fuck all y'all, quit asking me to follow you." I'm not nice with it, but I can't be more grateful. And I do repeat, grateful for, you know, coming in contact with people like Jamahl, because I tell you, it's for me it's a challenge, but it's what the beautiful part is, the person inside me who's good wants to see our people win. And I want nothing more than Jamarcus, Jamahl, my homeboy Rich. God, if y'all saw the messages Rich sent me, Lord, even this morning, it started sometime at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. He was like, yo, look what this stock did. These are the kind of people around you, like, if I need some, when I say need some, I need to grow. Some of y'all be like, oh, I can't pay my light bill. That is not what we're talking about. When he's saying Pangea, I thought for 6 months. So you saw the video content, slow down. I said, I have to think about where I want to be in the future, and I don't want to keep saying fit bully. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the avatar, and it's going to fuck with people because it's no longer a bully. But that's a process, right? So that's going to be up there for 6 months before I change the name. But here's the truth. I've always talked about health. I started with bullies. How do I change the world? And I found an old photo of me walking at Shawnee Mission South where it says in caption, some world changer. And I said, bro.
Oh, shit, some random shit. Did Kat text you earlier today about some school you used to train at back in KC?
What happened?
They fucking started a Satan cult.
A Satan cult? Oh, that's left field, nigga.
Bro, left. It just it was the wrong time to air it. This is a blooper, my bad. But that shit was crazy. A Satan cult. I guess they think that's conducive to what they got going on.
Now, the irony in what Jamal's talking about too, people, is that unfortunately there have been new shows like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is a modern day version, and there's even a Native American show Jamarcus doesn't know about, where they're starting to identify or pull out Lilith. If you're unfamiliar with Lilith, she was a person who supposedly married the devil, and she's a person that people think has the ultimate power because she could influence the devil. So like Adam in terms of Eve, she has a superpower. Now, mind you, you say, why does this nigga know all this? There's 3 things I tell people to do. Never discuss religion with me. Never talk about no damn dog. And whatever you do, don't talk about the human body and exercise. Everything else, you talk politics, I'll leave that shit alone. It's none of my business. Yeah. But these things, what he's saying is Satanism is just, mind you, if there was like, we live in this inclusive society now. So if we're going to do a club, let's say, we're like, praise God, they do the same thing if you read the Satanic Bible and just say, all hail Satan. Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, on Netflix is actually a really good fucking thing.
Fire.
You seen it?
Fire.
So you go.
I'm sorry, it's fire.
It is. But it's super informative. And people like me, I found everything else. Because I'm telling you, you watch this Native American one, that bitch is cold. And they changed his heart out. They prayed and they were trying to find, it's a whole thing.
Diablo?
No, it's not Diablo. I'm going to find it on my thing. I'll tell you after this. Okay. But when I tell you, this is interesting. And I've had super, super good conversations off camera with people. They were like, Trev, you know what such and such is? I said, oh, absolutely. They're like, for real? I was like, come on, cuz. You're talking to somebody who enjoys this type of information. Point is this. That's not crazy because inclusion is a thing. And if we're going to praise God, we got to praise the person we love too. Mm-hmm. That's the irony. I'm not going to tell you what's right or wrong. And, you know, the Bible says in John chapter 8, New Testament, for he who was without sin cast the first stone. They wanted Jesus to judge the woman who objectively was caught in the act of adultery. And even after all of them filed out, when taking a close look at themselves and said, you know what, shit, I was sinning last night. Guess what happened? And it was like this. The woman stays, after getting caught, she says, they all leave. Jesus right in the sand. So what would you have me do, sir, or sire, whatever? He goes, go and sin no more. Leave me alone. You know, because he came to redeem you from condemnation. And that's condemnation happens by way of choice, to be clear. But anywho, Maul here has got some goals, people. I love when our people, definitely people around me and people I consider friends, really take a look. And mind you, myself, people, we talked in another episode about imposter syndrome. I believe it's going to come up again.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
And I could tell you right now, I've too, for instance, I'm like, yo, we need to shoot a video for Coach Angela. Let me call Ab. Let me be very clear. There are more people engaged with what we're doing than anybody else. I literally posted something today, and even, Maul seen it. I go, damn, 1 million people reaching. I don't use a hashtag. Shit's nuts, right? No hashtags on Instagram. We got 1 million people that our page has reached. Why am I asking for anybody else? Why are we even shooting anybody else?
I developed the attitude by Trev talk about, man, fuck the hashtags. You know what I'm saying? I'm just posting. If you follow, you follow. You catch it, because I know what I'm dropping. It's going to repurpose itself eventually.
And that in itself, mind you, he's got real value. So long term, and same thing what I thought. I remember when they were 83 followers, man.
But watch when I go get the offer credit chain or the NHMP chain. Now it's like, oh, Trev, your man's wild, right? Oh, he got the bust down rollie. Oh man, I knew he was one of them. You just gotta pick your poison, man.
Yeah, you do. And that in itself is actually, him saying, I don't want to be judged by my judgers, because y'all judging every day, believe me. What I believe is that the good will outweigh the bad. That's my belief. And if I'm being honest, so far so good. We've proven that. It's been true.
It takes some big balls to be optimistic, man.
Man, and mind you, again, it's based on how you receive the hate.
Yeah.
Because I don't expect people are going to enjoy me. They're going to like me. They don't like my tone. They don't like my face. They don't like that I'm black. They don't like that I'm clear. They don't like that they can't find this information anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But they got to keep coming back. Because no one loves teaching the way that I do and love being informed. So my talent is to be clear. Open up a book, I digest the information, I recite it and reform it, and then I give it to you in a way that empowers you. And in itself, man, bro, I tell you, I start things and I don't have great hopes for stuff a lot of times. I'm not optimistic in that way. Yeah. But I believe in the foundational root of good because I've been so bad in my life. And when you see some of the messages, even in our feeding club, you go, wow, these people have paid attention. These people are doing their research. These people want more. Yeah. And if it's one person that wants more, oh my, what could happen if there's 2,000 people that want more?
Shout out to them folks that's taking care of their dogs, man.
Man say. So, Mo, if you were to help motivate somebody, even like, yo, what's a way in which you're going to set your goals up for 2024 so that you don't fail yourself?
I mean, first thing first, be thankful, for the responsibilities, man. I mean, it's a lot of, what's that quote from Peter Parker, bro? When his pop
with great
responsibility.
Power comes great responsibility. Yo, trust me, I know that Spider-Man. I was on that game, boy.
Man, that quote should do something to everybody, man. You know what I mean?
But not everybody has great power, bro. I think even you now, to be clear.
It don't even gotta be power.
No, it has to be because
purpose, I guess it's purpose is power.
Because think about it like this. You just identified that, hey, I found that I have this power to access millions of dollars. Challenge is I'm getting it for people, but it's not helping me none. I'm getting a small percentage. And that's how big people think. Like you go, oh no. I got to do something. This ain't making no sense. And so then they think, I don't have $1 million, but I got 20 bands. Mm-hmm. Who could I invest in, or what could I invest in that could change my life?
Correct.
So I don't ever have to, because at the end of the day, I love Maul to death. And you go, he's like me to a degree. I'm working this hard so I don't have to talk to none of you fuckers again. As the whole goal is to be on a walkie-talkie somewhere, about 2, maybe 1 person have a walkie-talkie. The only person who access me is nigga got my walkie-talkie. Past that, fuck yourself. I worked that hard for peace. So in your case, you're watching these things, this exchange of energy.
Yeah, a lot of energy.
And mind you, I hear about it sometimes. So we get
currency is energy too. Let's be clear.
The highest currency is energy.
Facts.
That's the part. Like niggas will lose money and don't break a sweat. Oh, yeah. Even Grant Cardone said, I watched the guy lose $25 million when he didn't break a sweat and still donated such and such. Because that ain't important. What's important is if he made 25, he know how to make it again. Mm-hmm. Challenge is dealing with people who are fucking draining. That I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
So when you're setting up your goals, for 2024 and, potentially being selfish and really taking a look at your network and investing more in yourself, what are some guidelines you're going to, in a sense, maybe even live by to make sure you don't lose sight of that goal? Because if you can lock in people, some people think a goal is rooted in a year. 15 months is ideal. What can I focus for 15 months? And that means you got over the hump. You get to a year, you be like, boom. It's like a nigga that like jogs through the line versus finishing the line, right?
Not bad. It's 11:11. They got to know what time it is.
Oh, the camera's off, but the camera's off right now. But he put the phone right to the
11:11.
But if you were to identify, what does it look like to really make sure for 15 months, I like focus on this goal? What are some things you're gonna do to make sure you are held accountable and you don't lose sight of your own goals?
Hey man, I'm gonna have to get real organized with my time. I'm gonna have to make a curriculum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For my day to day, what my day to day looks like. You guys got a fucking impeccable schedule. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got that shit down from a T.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's what it comes down to. It's being a little bit more organized. You know what I'm saying? My life and my lifestyle, for the most part, I could kind of start whenever I do get up. But because I could start when I get up, that doesn't mean I can't get up earlier and put the pedal on shit.
But I love that too, because Maul, they don't know this, but for the past 2 weeks now, Maul been up, post Micah before Micah got out of school.
Yeah, man. I usually take Micah to school and go, I'll go back to sleep and then start my day at like fucking 11. You know what I mean? And still get a lot done. Still get a headache having to deal with people. Still figure it out. But like, man, I'm trying to start my day way earlier just so, like I could catch an extra podcast. Like right now, I've been listening to The Richest Man of Babylon on podcast and also on YouTube. It's a few more things I'm downloading, and if I have more hours in the day, I could stretch my time out the way I want to.
And you're listening to these people to learn what exactly you had to.
I mean, right now I'm catching stories and seeing how I can relate with what I'm personally going through. Right now, The Richest Man in Babylon, I like that story. A lot of people have been telling me to read it. I've been seeing it on Instagram a lot. My homeboy, shout out to Rodell. He was supposed to come today, but shit happens. He'll be on probably the next episode or two, but he was talking about how we both were talking about how we lost money at a particular time in life, and with the person he lost money with, he had to grow.
Yeah,
he grew a lot, and successful phone repair company, making some great fucking financial decisions.
Yeah, and
making some great money with what he's doing, and he's at the point now where he could expand and multiply himself. But long story short, what happened with that, how The Richest Man of Babylon came up is because there was a couple situations where he pretty much was taking accountability, was saying that I lost the money because I knew who I was dealing with, but I still wanted to deal with him anyway. You know what I mean? Should have caught that. I should have caught the sign. You see what I'm saying? So he caught the sign. But tried to give him, try to give a brother a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And lost it. And he was very, very tight about that situation. But his growth, his environment, the brothers that he's around now is telling me about.
But you know what you're making me sick about, and Maul's not making me sick, but
man, niggas it's not even niggas though. When you really think about it,
no, it's them two words though. It's accountability, bro.
Accountability, man.
Like my papa said, man, if you ever want to know who's with you, Trev, see who could eat accountability off the table. And I was like, what's he talking about?
Man, he had to shout out to him, man. He had to eat that L. But me knowing him or getting to know him since I'm not from Texas, let's be clear, right?
Yeah.
But it's a couple of dudes it's New York, you know what I'm saying? But there's a couple dudes I respect, especially from when they transition from one cocoon into a butterfly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had your caterpillar, your fucking cocoon, and then the butterfly. And he has transitioned, and he's transitioned fucking beautifully. I'm always give my people their flowers.
Man, look.
So when we talk about that, single father raising his kids, making sure he's on point with what he's doing, and he's talking about like, yo, bro, I was so mad, but I started reading so many books and audibles and podcasts. And I was like, yo.
So don't look for answering violence, people.
Yeah.
A lot of times we find ways to solve problems by way of checking the like, bro, look, I'm telling you,
when you do right and yo, the universe work. When you randomly come around them folks and you was doing bad business,
yeah.
You know what I mean? What happens in that happens in that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where it was at. It's like, yo, bro, I understand why I lost that money now. And it will never happen again. You know what I'm saying?
And that part right, and mind you.
But he had to take accountability for why it happened. And the growth in how he explained that. That's why I say that's going to be a good one right there.
Man, when I say makes me sick, because,
you know what you know when you're grown in it. You know what I'm saying?
My papa made sure I understand the power and impact of accountability.
Oh, man.
Because most people defer meaning they go right to finding someone to become a victim or blame, or they play the victim. And in this case, she's all, you made the choice too, right? Well, that means you didn't know how to assess the situation to cast good judgment, or, as the Bible says, you lack discernment. And why did you lack discernment? Oh, because you was uneducated. So now your ignorance, which is the only thing more expensive than education, hence Benjamin Franklin, is one of those things that's cost you everything. Most importantly, your fucking peace.
But your ignorance also could cause you to miss out. You know what I'm saying? It
does.
It's just what side of the spectrum you on, man. So it's like a double-edged fucking sword.
Man,
dog.
Look, guys, this is a good one. I'm glad that Maul and I are sitting there. Look, I told Maul, I said, yo, I got this stuff here, and I'm only saying, let me be very clear, I'm not saying I got this stuff. I told you before, I hate podcasting. What I do believe is that it was going to make Maul a better man. And I don't mean a better man in terms of relationship. I don't mean because he's better with the dogs. I think, as he said, he didn't want to get out of his shell. I told him to post and all this other stuff. I'm like, bro, you're a very valuable person. When I think about a room of 100 people that I want to be in the room with me, he's a guy you want at the center because he's going to laugh and smile and keep people going. You understand that? What does that mean is he's got to be so clear about what it is he does and how he can impact the room that if I create this space where there's 100 of the richest people in the world in there and Maul's at the center, he knows exactly why he's there. And that in itself cannot happen unless we do the little things like we're doing right now, which is being on our maybe 30th episode of the podcast. Because as he begins to continue to find and his voice and communicate effectively, harp on topics, build his business, learn how to be the man he never saw. And I told people, I said, you know how hard it is to be someone I never seen? My dad did 7 years of level 5 prison. He's a crook. I got to say disrespectful. I love my mom to death, but she's an idiot. That's the truth. These are not people I aspire to be like. And it brings tears to my eyes when I see people talking about, man, if I could be a tenth of a man my dad was. If I was a tenth of a man my dad was, I have about 4 kids and been in jail for at least 10 to 15.
Man, look, I don't mean to cut you off, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
I tell people like this, bro. Look, if you're really serious about making change, it don't matter what walk of life you come from. You know what I mean? Once you there and you came across your awakening and whatever wake-up call you had and you really want to change your ways, you'll do it. And you'll get those blessings. And sometimes karma could be bad, and sometimes karma could be great. If you walk through your storm, take accountability, do what you got to do. So with all them folks, like even with the story I was telling with bro, it's going to be some shit you lose some money on. It's going to be some shit that don't go as planned, but it's your characteristics through that. And, if you got the intentions on fixing, the wrongs to make right, sometimes shit take longer, you know what I mean? But if you in that mindset, you already winning. It's niggas that just be like, man, fuck it, you gonna have to see me on the other side. Don't beat them niggas when you don't got to. If it take longer for you to correct some wrongs, and you know what I mean, all of that is character building. You go through
but on average, though, it takes 20 years to be successful. People,
man, go through your storms, man. Figure it out. Take your notes. Like, yo, I got to come back. Check this situation. Do what I got to do.
I would tell people to go
stand
watch
10 toes. You know what I'm saying?
Watch that one scene in Bruce Almighty where Morgan Freeman saying you can't pray for rain and don't expect the mud, right?
Yeah, but people be wanting. Like, what's that? Yo, it's a fucking. I need Jamarcus to do a dope ass edit, but this is one clip that I got from Rick Ross. Yo, Rick Ross talking about success, and he talking about how people get mad and they don't know the work that they got to put in, and then like once you click, and then once you start getting outside of yourself, and then the link up start coming, and shit is just like so fucking the like magnanimous. So I don't even know if that's the right word for this situation, but it's so big, it's so above you. He's talking about like the money start falling down like confetti in Club Live on a Saturday, bro.
But what Maul really saying is 9 out of 10 people in the world who have real wealth don't know who Rick Ross is.
No, they don't. But so, Rick Ross is trying to get into that world.
There you go. You know so what he's really saying is Rick Ross was like, damn, the world don't know me as no rapper, but I want to make some real money and I like business. So rapping gave him an avenue to really like, let me get into business. But the business niggas is like, I ain't listen to no damn Rick Ross. Nigga rapping about drugs and other bullshit.
No, some of them niggas love that shit though.
They do. But point is when he thinks about the bigger picture, what he had to do. Basically what we talked about in the early parts of this episode. Take his fucking self out of the equation, quit acting like you somebody. You've got money to play, but now who are you? A lot of billionaires can't get in the rooms because of the lack of character. People don't want to deal with you. And there have been many times I've met people who are really wealthy, but they won't work with other wealthy people because they don't like them. Yeah. It's just, money give you preference. Sometimes if you ever worked a job and you didn't want to work that job, but you had to work that job because you had to pay your fucking bills, you're broke. And I don't mean that because you don't have the money. It means because your spirit's broke. You don't know how to create other opportunities. These people, when they get real wealthy, they ain't got to work with you. Because guess what? They still worth $100 million every day, all day.
Straight hundo.
Period. And so, but he says, I want more. And I don't think Rick Ross is ever going to go broke, if we're being honest. What I do know is to get into the rooms with the people who could change the world, you got to become a different person.
Yeah.
Get your ego and pride out the way. So if you're going to give them advice more on setting goals, executing goals, and just being realistic about your goals. Guys, I told you we'll make $100 million and I'll sell some things for $1.5 billion over a 20-year time frame. That's my thing.
When you start talking about, when you really start talking about scale and probability, man, you got to have a system, bro. You got to have people that can count. You got to have a team.
Yeah.
Whether it's a fucking CPA, financial advisor, mentors. You're talking about a realm that you would dream of, and now you're starting to work towards. And for you to be able to obtain it and then keep it, you gotta be different from. You could get like you could double down, get the hustle, and then get there. Now you're there. How do you keep it? You know what I'm saying? You can't keep it by doing the same thing you was hustling to get there. You know what I mean? You got to figure out how to literally lock in a system, a means of operations. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, you just gotta get real serious about your business, about your brand, about you, and you don't gotta hit home runs, but you just have to be steady.
Golly, but that takes even when you said it, I love that because it reminds me of Moneyball.
Bro,
getting on base is more valuable than nigga his home runs.
Oh, bro, my dad tell me this. Yo, shout out to Lester Wright, dog. Man, bro, because it's like I will put so much weight on my shoulder to make sure whatever is good. Yeah. And it's like he was like, yo, I know you doing it from the heart, and this, that, and the third, bro. But the home runs, go for the bases. Go for the bases. Man. Home runs come once in a blue.
And you learn a lot more from the bases. I promise you that, man.
The bases add up to home runs once you catch that stride.
It's like being in an airplane and they're like, oh, this plane got delayed or something. You missed it.
What's the probability of how many times a nigga hit a fucking home run? How many times can I make sure the bases are loaded and I get to the crib?
What Maul's saying, too, is think about it like this. Nigga plays for, 10 years in the league, hit 792 home runs. In 10 years, he played 161 games. So when you do the math, you're like, yo, he didn't hit that many home runs, but it was a lot of home runs over 10 years. Yeah. But what he did do regularly was he got on base. And that made him valuable to us because at least he could hit the ball and help the team out.
Bases are loaded. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think bro sleep. Nico, because he played football and baseball. Like, I'm talking about, like, elite shit. But I believe bases loaded mean everybody's on that motherfucker, right?
Everybody on it,
Whole squad on there. Exactly. Yep. Whole squad.
And that's when the Grand Slam come in fact. Because now, if we do hit it and everybody got on base, nigga, Grand Slam, nigga, that's fucking monumental, bro.
Now we talking. You know what I'm saying? It's just different ways. But
that also means you got to have 4 people in front of you who could get on base. Man, pay attention to the coaches and know when to steal and when to like chill.
The secret to success, man, is just doubling down And the only advice I could give to everybody is the same advice that I'm doing with myself. I'm surrounding myself with what I need to be surrounded with. I'm pouring into what I need to be pouring into. And when my cup overflows, I could pour into others. And the same thing with people that's pouring into me as well. Yeah. Right now, Jamarcus is pouring into me, no homo. You know what I'm saying? So
he literally giving some Sprite and some wine.
So it's like, yo, don't complicate it. But if you have big aspirations to take it there, then you need to have, you need to have a big follow up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your follow up got to be just as big as your dreams.
Man, look,
people got to understand.
When I tell you, watching Jamahl for me, my guy Ruben said that when I first went out to Chris Moore, if you watched that original video, Chris was very unsure. He was apprehensive. He was like, and he said, Trev, it was like he was bringing this grown man out of his shell, right? He's in his 40s. I'm a 30-something-year-old cat, and I'm got the camera. Even one time I showed up, he said, damn, you always going to have the camera rolling? I said, absolutely. and watching Maul, learn how to play with new teammates even. Mind you, he's got a team. He's got people who love him, people who've been a part of his success, and want to see him win. But I'm like, yo, even myself, and I'm not even had this conversation. I was like, yo, nigga, you real valuable, man, nigga.
I picked up Tree yesterday, dog, and I picked up Tree from the airport. And, we talking about family. We talking about all that shit. And the first thing he's saying, he's like, yo, bro, he's pretty much just letting me know, bro, whenever you ready, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm ready to put something together. It's refreshing to hear shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Bro. Because it's like, yo, like my whole thing is to make sure, niggas is straight. And, sometimes shit get delayed. But at the end of the day, man, and like I said, pouring more into me and my circle is probably going to be the biggest thing that I do this year. So my biggest thing that I'm trying to focus on in the 2024 is having automated systems to where shit could run smoothly to where, I'm needed when I'm needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just don't have to super micromanage or fucking just be all over the place.
Guys,
it's a lot of things that I do that could be automated. And that's my main focus, giving my all to make sure that I could have my time. And it don't matter, I don't got to be a bazillionaire, but I'm in a situation where I have access to a lot of services and a lot of products, that could put me in a great situation.
Yeah. And
it needs to be automated so I could continue to be creative and figure other things out that I want to invest in. And you know what I mean?
I think, but look, when he's saying that he would invest in, if you really,
or people or situations.
That's it. Like when you really look at Jeff Bezos and his Cuban and some regular stories. Bezos said on stage, he said, can I? He was doing an hour-plus conversation. He said, can I shout out my mom and dad? And he said when they bet on the internet, they didn't even know what it was, but they were betting on their son's success. How many of you have fucking parents that would give a shit? Like if you brought them an idea, they put their house up to make sure that you had a fair chance to fucking try. 9 out of 10, you don't. I don't care what nobody says. Your mom like, yo, I got to leverage this house. I need you to leverage the house, and I promise you I'll do everything I can to make sure you're good. They're not doing it. They're just not doing it if you're African American. So when I hear Maul say, how important it is for him to double down, pour into himself, bet on himself, bet on the community, figure even out, and mind you, I'm learning too, how to operate in this team setting. I'll tell you this. Last week was probably one of the best weeks I've had consistency-wise in the gym. Jamarcus out of town. It's just me and Maul in town. But every day I get up and I'm letting the dogs out at 8:30. Maul's up. And so one point he says, hey, what time you getting active? I said, shit, I go right now. I go when my energy's right. Wednesday comes. We hit Monday, Tuesday. We knock it out. Get it over with, right? Wednesday come, he's sitting on the couch. I'm like, oh, he's busy. I ain't gonna bother him. He don't see me leave because when I leave, I'm like fucking a ninja nigga. I'm gone. So fast forward, that was also the day that he did $1 million deal. And the $1 million deal, I ain't gonna tell you what percentage he get of everything. Point is this. I walk around the gym because again, I give my son, sometimes if it's not too cold, I'm like, I need to be outdoors. I need to fucking feel the sun. I'm an outdoors person, point blank. And I'm learning that more and more as I get older, but I need to be outside. I look at my watch when we get to that third stop sign. You say, man, it's 18 minutes. Should I text this nigga? And so finally I said, let me text this nigga. I said, yo, I'm going to be here for a while, man. I just got to the gym. Now, I've been there for 18 minutes. That's the truth. But in my head, because I'm not used to friends, let me be very clear. When I say friends, I mean people who give a shit about progress. So for me, a friend like Rich, he be concerned about you making money. He'll call me like, yo, you need to double down. I'm like, yo, I'll buy a couple of sheets, nigga. I'm about to buy 5,000. I'm like, my nigga, I ain't got that kind of 5,000. I got to pay for this or that. So I can't do 5,000 in such and such. But Rich literally sends me what his 2-year-old Hendrick made, and he made on some good investments.
Hendrick got a bag right now.
Yeah, so he's not lying when he's saying anything, but he's telling you, yo, I would do this. And Rich only makes smart, safe, and realistically, no investment is safe. But he makes good investments. My point in telling you all this is I have to learn how to be a part of a team, because it's imperative when you start talking about $100 million exits, $1.5 billion exits, that you trust the people around you more than sometimes you trust yourself. So as I've learned and continue to work with Jamahl, I go, man, it took everything in me, because I'm not a family man, I'm not a friendly man. And part of me not finding friends because people don't want to hold themselves accountable, responsible, and let alone, they don't want too much out of life but to shine and to fucking gloat. I have none of those fucking egotistical things. So I'm walking around, finding him, and he's like, yo, I'll be there. He's like, he'll communicate like 8 minutes out. He'd be like, bet. But it took everything in me to send him a message, because I'm so used to walking through this life alone. And I'll be very honest and say, I don't know if that's healthy. I have no clue if it's healthy or not, because I can't be more thankful for Jamarcus finally figuring out, like, yo, and he will get on to that one episode. Nigga, I try to tell you how to help yourself. and even Maul, I could say this dude right here is clean to that, which is good, which means is he be like, where y'all headed? Like, we going to the gym. First day we went to the gym, he showed that they bought a membership. You go, oh, that's crazy. And the next day, what time y'all going tomorrow? And he kept going and kept going and kept going. And what I could say honestly, and he could correct me if I'm wrong, he's hit numbers like 265 and 255, weights that he probably would never.
I ain't never, bench press over, yeah, bro, 245s and maybe a fucking 25.
Oh, that's 275. That's good.
270. No, I'm sorry, a 145 on each side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So
I was never like into it. I was trying to get into it, man. But like I said, like this type of working out, it was never something I've done. So to be honest, this is like for real. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the shit I did was like calisthenics, light, just a lot of reps. You know what I'm saying? I'm lifting heavier than I've ever lifted. You know what I mean? Some people look at me and think that I'm supposed to be able to lift that, but I'm like,
but
nah,
we've watched trainers come up, because Maul's bigger than us, to be clear.
I'm not.
So he'll come off like doing some bent over rows with 365, nigga.
This nigga lying, bro. Even Jamarcus solid as a motherfucking dog.
No. Seriously. So you don't remember the day when we was doing basically a half deadlift with 3-4 plates on the side, and the trainer was like, yo, good shit, big guy. Remember we was doing the fucking, basically, he don't know what nothing's called. So point is, I had 3 or 4 plates on each side, true story, and you just have to basically deadlift it from a certain position a few times.
When we put the thing on?
Yeah.
I was doing that. I felt like I was doing that wrong, bro.
Wrong or right, the people around commended him for doing it because he is taller than us significantly. So point is shout out to those trainers, because we got one coming on the podcast this upcoming weekend who was like, they seen us enough to know like, yo, these niggas about their life. But even more saying, why do our workouts work? It's because I'm efficient. I don't have a lot of time, bro. I don't want to be in the gym all day. I don't know why anybody wants to be in the gym all day.
Yeah, fucking look. I love all my niggas, bro. I respect everybody in the training shit. But I was never the fucking 2.5, 3 hour gym nigga.
So think about this.
Unless like when I was hooping, and like because you do plyo, you know what I'm saying?
Plyometrics.
Go do some lifting, and then do some shooting. If broken up like that, I'm cool. You know, do some pool shit.
Straight weights, nigga?
But straight weights, nigga. Like we just, what are we doing, dog?
And what
the fuck are we really doing?
And so when you look at the clocks, you go, damn, these niggas burn. We'll burn 800, 900 calories in an hour workout because we worked.
I don't want to burn 3,000 calories in the gym for 4 hours, nigga.
No, and I don't either, bro. Look,
I got shit to do.
We that's the point. So even when you're thinking about, he optimized his strength, his growth, and everything else, and he spent less time. How did that happen? Because I'm efficient and I'm effective as fuck. So I could say this, people. Most opened my mind, as I've told him in real life outside of this podcast, which is still real life. Like, my man showing me how to be considerate of friends and people and men and black men and opportunity and friendships and all the stuff that is unfamiliar to me, but keeps me hopeful. If I'm being honest, hopeful, because I want to see everybody grow. And as he said, if we locked in and focus on the people here, I've got a viable business, people. And we do, we get up and we do the work every day. And I'm thinking intrusively. Intrusively means like, if somebody walked up to you, was like, why are you itching your arm? And they just grabbed your arm and opened it and was like, looked at your armpit, you'd be like, this nigga's tripping. But that's intrusion. They're intruding upon your comfort. And you have to grow in that moment, because you go, well, shit, I don't know why it's itching. Maybe he knows, so let me at least let him take a look. But that's pride and ego. Take that out the way. So what Jamal's done for me, and mind you, I've not asked for anything, no expectations or nothing. What I said is I think that this could work. And if I believe or have the thought, I turn my thoughts into things. Because here we are now on our what? What episode is this, Money?
This will be episode 23.
So this is 23 episodes in less than 3 weeks, and we've got more downloads than any podcast I've ever started or been a part of, to be clear, because they didn't have good messaging. I think Maul's going to be very important to the future. Most importantly, his own. And I love that he has a reason to stay competitive, be it his son, be it his self, be it his future. So I'm counting on us, for one, not failing ourselves, but seeing how far we can go, a.k.a. how far can we grow. And I want to be proud. I tell people, there's only a few moments you get to be proud about. If you're a person who loves love and you want to have a wife and kids, you get to be proud about the person you choose, because that's very difficult. Even like we're trying to find the right team members now. How hard is it to be proud of the 4 or 5 people you know, man? So if you got a loved one, you go, man, I'm proud to know that fucking chick. And then you get to be proud of your kids. If you have them, you go, man, they made it across the stage. They fucking finished college, and they found someone that they can love, work with till the day that they die.
So this is shit I'll be talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's 11:30. It's 11:38, right? I get a message. He's like, yo, I have a guy that has an 800 credit score. He has $11 million in assets paid off, right?
Sheesh.
His house is worth $4.8 million and has a paid off 1.5 residential mortgage, and he needs cash fast. He sends me his credit score. I say, look, send me the login so I can check his report and get him situated ASAP. Sends me a screenshot, 820, 785. I said, that's Credit Karma. Send me the real logins. I said, I need my credit. I said, my bad, I'm stuttering. I need my score IQ, identity IQ, or Experian. Sends me this dude. Real score, true score is a 762 and a 738. But he got all of those assets are reporting on his file. Bro, like, for this dude to hit me up randomly at almost 12 o'clock,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That shows that the work I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's, like, this the type of shit, bro. Like, I would have never seen, thought I've been getting these kind of messages.
No, I love it.
This dude used to own a luxury, exotic rental and a private jet fucking bunker.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, him thinking of me, it's like, dog, I think he might be able to get it done because of his resources. So and that's what I try to tell people.
So think
I
about
treat
what
everybody the same.
Is like, yo, I'm gonna be more considerate of myself this year. I'm gonna believe that I actually am the answer to some prayers even. And here's the challenge. I've been the answer to so many prayers, people, and I gotta be honest and saying I overlooked it, man. But when Maul came with me to the ABKC Nationals, those people were like in awe. I thought I was gonna go there and get a negative response and a bunch of hate and all this other stuff, I'm being honest.
Nah, bro, they fucking love the fuck out of you, dog.
And I go, wow. I said, that's the second show outside of Chris Moore's show that I've been to. I said, wow, that was fun. That was actually fun. And I told Maul, I gotta say this, because mind you, I told him literally walking back from the fucking bar we was at, I said, bro, I didn't never consider taking people with me just as, just hang out buddies, per se. And I thanked him for coming. I did. I said, man, thank you so much for coming, man. I didn't know that it would be beneficial for me to have somebody here because I'm so used to being by myself. But it was a blast, man. It was a blast. I got to be honest. We had a good time. And you say, man,
just doing simple shit.
That's it. I said, how many times can we quantify that over the next lifetime, bro? I tell you this, you're going to meet 1 or 2 people, maybe 5 total in your life that you want to be around. Let alone can learn from and work with. This is a person in 4 months. Doesn't mean we won't have our hiccups. Here's the beauty about things. You guys are going to hear everything's going right. You love adverse moments because that's when we tighten up. Because the truth is, no matter what happens, the value is in us being friends, not us being enemies. So even when there's a complicated moment, we sit down, we discuss, and we move on. And most importantly, we move forward. So in your mind, you think everything's supposed to go right. You're supposed to laugh, ha, kiki. No. There's going to be moments of failure. There's going to be moments of regression. There's going to be, hopefully, a lot of moments of progression. But there's going to be a ton of moments of growth. And that's life. That's life at its finest, is who can I grow with? And growth is uncomfortable. It's like a good coach that put his foot on your neck and you hated his guts. But fast forward 5-6 years, you're a better man or woman because of that fucking person who gave a shit, who also knew that you had to do more. I believe you could do more and be better. Guys, look, I don't know what your goals are in 2024. Maul's giving you perspective. I'll do it in another episode. I'm going to tell you this. I'm goal-driven, goal-oriented, and I'm a goal psychotic. So, and how do I meet my goals? Is I task them out. So it's not, I'm like, my only goal for 2023 was, could I communicate effectively about dogs in a way that attracted people to what we were doing? Guess what? It worked. It worked. The numbers don't lie. We have the phone, we have the support, we have the engagement. And I don't remember shit I said. 2024, way more intention, way more fun. And even more importantly, we're going to get more support from those people who want to grow. And as you've heard Jamahl, he's going to double down what some would consider be a little selfish. But how do I pour more into the 3 to 5 people who I'm in support of naturally, but who I could also continue to just value. And it's hard to find people to value. I've said this before. I don't value my sister, brother, mother, or father. There's no exchange. It's just them consuming, right? So that every time they call you, they're going to take. And I'm going to have nothing left. And I had to cut them off years ago because I don't have anything else to give. $100 million wouldn't change their life. What I would tell you is if we stay on task, we could change the world as long as we stay focused. So, Maul, anything you want to hit him with at the end of this?
Man, just double down on you. Double down on your processes. You know what I mean? Become a fan of you before anybody else. Or, you know what I mean? And use where you're at right now. Even no matter how successful you think you are, you always can take it to
You're never
level.
Successful enough, believe me. I don't care what you say.
You always can take it up a notch, man. So, just look at where you at, and develop a super resilience to, being mediocre. Challenge yourself to be better, challenge yourself to push boundaries.
You know what's crazy is one of the top scientists in the world. He discovered CCN5. You guys comment below. I'll go watch this episode. Who discovered CCN5? What was his name? He's one of the best scientists, one of the top in the world, who was aligned with BRCA1, which is the breast cancer gene. There's a movie called, I think, Annie something, but BRCA1 is how they identify who needs a mastectomy. Point is when he's saying double down, you go, wow. That's interesting because you need people who hate mediocrity. Let me tell you this. That dude emailed me every day when I started TV, and he says, Trevor, don't forget you're not mediocre. I didn't think none of it at the time, I gotta be honest, but fast forward, you go, this dude emailed me every day I wasn't mediocre.
Mediocre produces poor man results, bro. You know what I mean? And then, you could be poor in chance and double down on yourself and be rich in everything else. So it's just, there's perspective in what you're actually doing behind that to fuel what you got going on. So a lot of shit gonna go over a lot of motherfuckers' heads if they're not there, they're not really walking through that.
Yeah.
Through that. But man, look, all I can say is bet on yourself. Take care of your dogs. Take care of your people. Take care of your credit.
Yeah.
And leverage yourself, leverage opportunities, and leverage your life, man. Level up.
Boom, people. Look, again, Offercredit.com. If you're looking for credit solutions, definitely reach out to Jamahl and his company and Kat. Super important for us to learn how to leverage all the dollars that we spend and all the dollars that we keep and where to put them and how we pay our bills. You guys always asking me about dog stuff. Go to my dog stuff and my dog tools. That being said, guys, I appreciate you for listening. Remember to like, subscribe, download this thing, share with somebody who thinks needs to hear this. We are just warming up. I promise you, people. Hopefully we can talk to you soon.